A leader helps people push outside of their comfort levels and allows them to grow to their greatest self. That's what Live 100 is about. It's about creating the best part of you and allowing everyone else to become their best version because of the efforts that you put forth as well. All right, let's go. If you are not getting the fitness, not getting the focus, not getting the financial resources, or having the relationship you want, this is your place to be. This is the Live 100 podcast. I'm Jason Yarusi, and today we're going to talk about the aspects of a true leader. So when you think about being a leader, right, everyone wants to lead. Everyone wants to be in charge. Everyone wants to stand up. But are you being the leader that everyone around you deserves to have in your community, at your office, in your family, in your life? So we're going to talk about some of the key aspects of what a leader represents. And we're going to start off here is that you have to create a winning environment. If you want to be a leader, you have to foster accountability. You have to create winners. You have to create the environment that shows what winning looks like. You want to help others achieve their greatness. You want to push others to levels that they never thought was possible. I remember when I did a virtual 100-mile race one time, and what stood out to me was that, I did 25 miles, 4 loops, right, of 25 miles. And what came upon is that, I offered to have, some people, some friends, some acquaintances, some people join me on my journey, right? And what I found, what was the most rewarding part of that 100-mile race, right? I did it in about 20 hours over the course of a day here. And what happened is that I had 8 people join me that day. And because they saw me engaged, tuned, fine-tuned, and disciplined to the part of just putting myself outside of my comfort zone, well, they started to break all of these goals. I had people that had run 5 miles that ran 15 miles. I had people that ran 13 miles that ran 37 miles. I had people that had only run 8 miles that would run a marathon that day. All these people accomplished these feats because they were surrounded by someone else who was doing something outside of the ordinary. So as you step up to the plate, you have to show them what winning can be, and what winning can be not only within you, but within themselves as well. Next is that you have to invest in the team, right? You have to invest in the dream team. And that could be anything from your family, right? You have to give them the ability to have great books, to have great knowledge, to have the experience to get different cultures involved so they can learn different experiences. To your team, right? You can't be the only one performing. You can't be the only one stepping up. There has to be ways that you invest in your team to give them the resources. So when you call upon them, that they're ready to step up because they had the training, they have the background, that they're ready to give it their all. Also, you follow up with discipline. If you want to have and be the leader that proves to have the results, and you have to be disciplined to what you say you're going to do. So many times in life that we want to lead by pointing to other people and saying, well, you need to do that. Well, you have to be willing to show up to do all the tasks. Why? Because it proves that you're not afraid to do the work, but you also know how to do the work. If you want to lead, right, you lead from the back. You pull people forward, you push them forward, you give them the advantages to be the best self, but you have to lead forward by going in there and being disciplined to the results. So if you say you're going to do something, then you show up and you do it. You don't say, oh, I didn't get to it. I'm too busy. I'm the leader. No, you are the one who puts in the extra work, who puts in the extra hours, who puts in the other points. So when people see you, they aspire to come up there and be a leader themselves. So they show up even when it's tough for them as well. Next is you allow growth, right? You want to foster accountability and the potential that they can grow, right? We want our people here at Yarusi Holdings to make massive amounts of money. Why? Because it means that we're doing great too, right? We want to allow them to grow, allow them to make more money, allow them to have the ability to grow into greater roles. And if that means that we help them become their greatest self, and that means them leaving the company to go do what we do, fantastic, because they've helped us to get where we are and we've helped them to get to the next level of their life. A leader helps people push outside of their comfort levels and allows them to grow to their greatest self. That's what Live 100 is about. It's about creating the best part of you and allowing everyone else to become their best version because of the efforts that you put forth as well. Next is you have to define what is the values of the company, right? Here at Yarusi Holdings, we have vision, versatility, and value, right? That's what our core principles are here at Yarusi Holdings. But if I said to you, as yourself, right? What is your core mission statement? What are your values? Do you know? Can you stand up and say, this is what I stand for? So many times in today, we forget to stand for something, right? We forget to say, this is what I stand for. I'm not standing for what someone else says. I'm not standing for what someone else believes. I'm standing for my beliefs. It's very important in today's time and age that you stand up to have your own beliefs. Don't look at someone else's beliefs and say, okay, maybe I'll take that on. What do you stand up for? That's what's going to separate us. That's what's going to continue to make America one of the best ever countries ever, right? You look at all these other countries around us that have had all this part, but still today, people die to come to this country because we stand for something. We've stood for something in many years before and many years past, and we have to continue to stand today for what matters to us and not what sounds good on social media, what sounds good on TV. So you have to stand for something. So what is your core mission statement? What are your core values? And lastly, you have to have accountability, not only to yourself, but you have to set expectations for others around them and hold them to their expectations, right? We have a weekly meeting where we look at key performance indicators. So we want to look at the indicators that we're pointing at here and see how our company's performing, right? That gives us an idea of the task we're putting in, because so many times in life we look at the goal, and the goal is something that can be accomplished, but we may not be able to control the goal, right? So if we want to close an apartment building, right? Great. Well, we can't put forward when the right deal is going to come across. What we can do is we can look at how many averages are we having? How many deals are coming back for us to underwrite? How many deals are we underwriting? How many deals are we putting offers out on? How many deals on that part are we getting counters back on? We can look at that as our control points for our key performance indicators for what we're doing, right? If you're looking for you as a leader, right? How are you showing up to your employees, to your team, to your family, to your organization, right? How do you show up? Because today in time, we need more leaders. So it's 6 ways. And let's go through this again. Create a winning environment. Invest in your team. Be disciplined to what you do and allow them to grow. And then be in your part to have a true core values and mission statement that you stand for and your company stands for. Last, foster accountability. 6 great leadership skills that you can take away to be your best self and to be the greatest leader you can be. All right, this is Live 100. Go down there and share this podcast with someone else. And we really appreciate that if you would just go down there and give us an honest rating and review. We've had so much great feedback in this podcast, so many great people reaching out and telling us so many great things about the podcast. We would love to hear from you so we can make this podcast the best one going to help you reach your peak performance stage. All right, let's do this.